For over a year, regional communities have been bracing for the rollout of massive new transmission towers for renewables. Up until now, exactly where these transmission lines would go was being kept secret from residents and farmers. Yesterday, however, transmission company Victoria released its preferred easement report, and that shows where 240 kilometres of power lines will now cut through about 250 farms and other private properties. Locals, to put it bluntly, well, they're not happy, and they're vowing to fight it all the way. Joining me now, one of those locals, Charlton farmer Glendon Watts. Well, Glendon, I hoped when we spoke again, you might have some positive news that you'd won the war against these transmission towers. But now that you know the route, give us a sense of what it's like for your local community and what other farmers are telling you.
I think it's the reality has finally hit home, I guess, Peter, that we kind of knew this day was coming, I suppose, and that now it's here. There's a bit of I guess it's reality's hit the ground, rubber's hit the road. So, the community is kind of now trying to process what's been put in front of us. There's been big changes in the last, since their preferred kind of narrowed 2 kilometre option. They've now kind of in different places along the route changed that due to whatever reason. They'll give you 5 different reasons why they've done that. But now, it's having more effects on some people who thought they weren't going to be affected, and there's other people who are no longer being potentially as affected by this physical transmission line as what they were initially. So it's all over the place. But as a general, as you say, it's not necessarily good news as such.
A lot of this is farming land. A lot of this is the land in which, people in urban areas survive. You guys grow the grains and other things, the fat lambs that we all eat and enjoy in the city. So how far are farmers willing to take this?
I think it's no question in the matter. We'll go all the way. We'll go as high as we need to legally. And then if that doesn't work, we'll meet them at the gate. And it's not going to be 1 or 2 farmers, jumping up and down at their gate. It's going to be the whole community. We're united from the top to the bottom of the BNI West, the WRL. We're all going to be there, and we'll do whatever it takes. You hear the saying, a man who's got nothing to lose is very dangerous. Well, you consider what a man or a lady or whoever, a farmer, a generational farmer of 6, 7, 8 generations, what we've got to lose and how much we're willing to fight to protect that. And not only that, but democracy. It's not far from communism, is it? They're coming in, they're trying to take our land and force this project upon us, regardless of our rights. They're removing our rights. They've stopped us from challenging at VCAT. So we're not only fighting to ensure food security, our community, our freedom to farm and do what we love doing, but we're also fighting for democracy and what's right in this country. So we're going to go all the way, and we'll do whatever it takes. But there won't be 1 or 2 of us. We'll all be there, and we'll do what it takes to stop it.
Since we spoke about this a couple of years ago, I'm now inundated with people that have got the same sort of stories of lack of consultation, foreign companies, railroaded legal processes in relation to wind farms, solar farms, transmission lines like yours. How can people support you, even if they don't live near the route, Glendon? How can people support you from around Australia?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And I think, since we started chatting about this, Peter, a couple of years ago, I should say, it was a few and far between. There wasn't much awareness. But, as we're going along, there's more and more awareness, which is fantastic. So, you don't have to live in Ewan like myself to have a conversation around this with your friends, your mates, your work colleagues, whatever it is, whoever it is, to raise awareness that this isn't the right way. This isn't the cheapest option. We've seen the AEMO, I can't think of his name, came out the other day and finally admitted that renewable energy is not going to necessarily guarantee lower power prices. Well, we've been arguing that for 2 years. So I think have those conversations, ask those questions, do your own research. Don't get too caught up in mainstream media. Don't get too caught up in what Mr. Bowen comes out and says at the press conference with his hard hat on. Go beyond that. And then, the thing that's really going to solve it for us is a change in federal government is going to be the biggest chance sort of thing, looking to go nuclear, utilise existing infrastructure. So, come election day, whenever that might be, state and federally, you need to consider the bush and think about us. So that would be the best way that you can support us going forward.